Hello, guys. We just got some exciting news. We added 3 new countries to the listener base of the Productive Not Busy podcast: Ukraine, Israel, and Sweden. So, for all those who listen in those countries, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Our show's growing. Hope you guys are finding value in this. And today we are talking about the discomfort zone. This is going to be a 6-part system to help you find the success that exists outside of your comfort zone. Here we go.
You're listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast, where our mission is to make you more money so you'll have less stress and more free time. It's all about mindset, attitude, and taking action. And your host, Wayne Weathersby, knows how to make that happen. He's negotiated and closed over $150 million in contracts while building businesses with proven success strategies that he wants to share with you. So if you're ready to make some real money, then let's get to it. Here's Coach Wayne.
Okay, so the discomfort zone we are about to visit is an interesting topic because we all gravitate naturally towards being comfortable, right? If you're offered a chair in a room with multiple open spaces to it, you're probably going to go seek out the seat, which looks like it will fit your body best, like provide you the best support, but the perfect angle on the back and the right cushioning or the support for the spine. You'll even want the chair in a position where the lighting is good, right? And you have a clear view. That's called comfort. We like cushions and soft fabrics to the point where an entire $1 billion industry is based on bed pillows. Okay. We want shoes that focus our feet and its comfort. Food served at the perfect temperature with the coffee neither too hot nor too cold. Even dream jobs are best if they aren't too demanding, but offer just enough intellectual stimulation, right? You feel adequately challenged and well satisfied at the end of each day. See, we like things to stay the same, so we gravitate towards routines. Days without surprises are easily managed, aren't they? We even talk about being comfortable to say one is financially secure. Comfort is considered the ultimate goal of a life well spent. It's also the greatest prison cell you'll ever devise for yourself. Telling you, comfort is all about staying safe. It is all about things being predictable and life without demands. Comfort can be a very good thing. Don't get me wrong. Unless you want to grow and succeed in life, comfort keeps us where we are, giving us no reason to challenge ourselves, learn new things, or discover what we're capable of. So in this podcast, we will take you into the world of possibility. You'll find out about comfort zones, why everyone loves them, and how they hold you back. We'll talk about discomfort and the science behind making yourself uncomfortable and how difficult and discomfort can be used to propel yourself towards your goals. And then finally, we're going to learn 6-step system for making yourself comfortable with discomfort and even using it to springboard yourself into the life you've always thought you wanted or dreamed of. So let's get started. Okay. We're going to talk about the comfort zone first. To understand the world of the discomfort zone, you have to first have a clear idea of what the comfort zone is. So in this first part, we'll look at a couple of different definitions of this phase and explore where this idea comes from. We'll also talk more about why we like the discomfort or the comfort zones and how damaging it can be to stay too long in your comfort zone. So, what is a comfort zone? So, back in 1991, a lady named Judith Bardwick came up with the term comfort zone when she said the comfort zone is a behavioral state within which a person operates in an anxiety neutral condition, using limited set of behaviors to deliver steady level of performance, usually without any sense of risk. So consider the phrase anxiety neutral. This meant that a person in their comfort zone was neither worried nor stressed. When you're in your comfort zone, you know precisely where you are, what's expected of you, and how to accomplish what needs to be done. There are no threats or surprises, nor are there any unexpected challenges on the horizon. It is, in short, a comfortable place to be. Since then, the phrase has been used to define everything from proper temperature of a room, right, to feeling as though you're doing well in school, scoring reasonably well on your tests, getting a passing grade without too much effort. See, a comfort zone can be used to talk about music, sports, job performance. We run in our comfort zone all the time when taking on a marathon and hope to be, to be there financially with just enough money to pay the bills and still have enough left over for decent savings or your retirement fund, whatever, and still get to go on vacation twice a year. At the same time, the comfort zone has no set parameters. What defines your comfort zone is not the same comfort zone as your neighbor, your coworker, or your spouse. This happens in part because we all react differently to different situations. One person might feel comfortable with a certain amount of surprises in their day. Another might consider every surprise a threat to their well being and define their comfort zone as a day with absolutely no surprises. More commonly, we define a comfort zone by what challenges us. To an extrovert, a large party might feel like walking into their comfort zone. To an introvert, though, they might not know how large of a gathering will challenge their comfort zone, but they'll certainly know when they've crossed it. That's the feeling of being unexpectedly overwhelmed when the party is larger than expected. Because the comfort zone is a mental state, it's probably easier to figure out your personal comfort zone by how you feel under certain circumstances. When you reach your comfort zone, you quite naturally want to stay there. Why? What is it about comfort zones which makes us like them so much? Well, let's talk about that. Why do we like comfort zones so much? Comfort zones aren't bad things. In fact, there are quite a lot to recommend in them, really. If you consider the benefits of the comfort zone, you know what's expected, right? Being able to get through your day without a lot of uncertainty and doubt reduces a great deal of stress. There are no surprises in the comfort zone. You have time to learn new things. It's impossible to better yourself when you're caught up in a whirlwind, right? A study in Stockholm, I think back in 2016, showed that we don't retain new information well when stressed out or in chaotic situations. This means that being in the comfort zone is the ideal time to pick up a new skill, research over and over on this new information, or even finish out a degree or gain a certification, better preparing yourself for when you're ready to challenge yourself. The comfort zone gives room for daydreams. Where do goals come from, right? We create them when we're calm and relaxed. Comfort zones are a great place to imagine a better future and create new goals. It's here where your best planning happens, actually. You give your body a break. Sometimes when you're rushed, we don't always do what's best for ourselves, for sure. Comfort zones give you a chance to catch your breath, catch a proper meal, make up some sleep. Just being relaxed does wonders for your nervous system. It reduces, right, anxiety and stress. And you have time for a social life. When rushed, we don't always take time for relationships. Comfort zone allows us to fully enjoy being around those we love without feeling like we have to rush through the interaction. Imagine having a conversation without distractions, focusing all of your attention on that other person. See, when we do that, you regain a measure of control. Finally, being in the comfort zone gives you a sense of mastered achievement, whatever challenges you previously faced. You're back at the helm, fully in charge. This is something we all need once in a while, for sure. Everything seems easier. With a clear understanding of expectations, no real challenges, and nothing to upset what you're doing, your daily life is stripped down to one of simplicity. There are no complications where there's no change. I'm going to repeat that. There are no complications where there's no change. See, it's not only desirable to be within your comfort zone, it's absolutely necessary to visit there now and again. We all need space to find ourselves again, to rest and recharge. Without time spent in the comfort zone, you'll eventually burn out mentally and physically. 100%. So how does the comfort zone hold us back? Right? I'm telling you, you should go visit there every once in a while, but I'm telling you, it can also hold you back. Well, there's a danger to comfort zones. As with any good for you, it's possible to overindulge, creating too much of a good thing. Think about the last time you worked out and took things too far. It wasn't fun, was it? Gasping for air, feeling like you'd just been hit by a truck, muscles sore, couldn't walk. It's even possible to make yourself sick drinking too much water. Something we all need, especially given that we're 75% or 80%, 90% water? Did you know, actually, that 75% of all Americans are dehydrated at any moment? It's easy to overdo and become too comfortable to the point where the comfort zone is doing more harm than good. How can you tell when you've gone too far? Well, life feels boring or even stagnant, right? There are no surprises anymore. You've fallen into a routine where you're doing the same old thing day in, day out because it's comforting. Now you're just slogging through the day, feeling like you're not making progress or doing anything worthwhile. There's no more challenge, and life is like freaking dull, right? To the point to where it's like almost grim. You're not applying what you've learned. It's not easy to get caught up in research and learning new things. There's so much to discover out there. But what are you doing with all of this information? If you've reached out to the point of learning just to learn new things, I guess that's okay. It's good to be excited about education, I guess. The danger lies in using education as a means of procrastination. Are you putting this new knowledge to work? This would be like reading 100 books on how to write a novel without ever writing a book yourself. This isn't just a waste of it's a waste of your education. You're holding yourself back, keeping yourself from finding out what you can do by applying the knowledge you've gained. So that's the thing. You're dreaming, but you're not doing. Right? It's like affirmations. Affirmations are bullshit unless you take action on them and take the first step towards attaining those affirmations. Right? You can't lay in bed in your underwear going, I'm going to be rich. Doesn't work that way. It's fun to plan and make lists, blueprints, goals, or everything you want to do with your life. But this kind of planning does no good if you're never trying to reach the goals and taking action. You've been in the comfort zone too long. If you're all idea and no action, at some point, you absolutely have to get out of bed and try. You've been on a break really long time. The life of leisure sounds amazing, but it does begin to grow old kind of quickly. Sure, your body loves when you're taking proper care of yourself, but too much lazing around can start doing more harm than good. Muscles that aren't put to work tend to go away, decondition. This goes for mental activity as well as physical prowess. If you take too much time off, you'll have a harder time making decisions, and you will have the same stamina or physical challenges if you continue to lay around. For the best use of comfort zone, get your rest and recharge. Act once you've restored your energy, right? Don't overdo it. And then you got to figure out if you've lost your flexibility. It can feel good to have everything under control, but what happens if something unexpected comes up? Whoops. An obstacle, a challenge. If you're used to things being a certain way, you'll find it's suddenly a lot harder to be flexible in accepting sudden change or dealing with a crisis. You lose your knack for managing uncertain conditions and immediately jump to a stress response when things are out of your control. The comfort zone is perfect for the status quo, but doesn't help you move forward in your career or your goals. You can't possibly win the day when you're sitting around, sitting still, only acting reactively to challenges. Rather than getting out and hunting down new paths to success, facing your future on your own terms. Even worse, if you stay too long in your comfort zone, it'll start to shrink down until you find yourself doing less and less and less. Things that were on the border between being comfortable and uncomfortable will eventually become uncomfortable themselves. A comfort zone can become a small place to live, tiny box. So I want you to consider, if you stay too long in the comfort zone, you'll never discover another. What if you're missing out on a better comfort zone by not striving through the next level? Imagine where you could be next. How do you get there? This is where the discomfort zone comes in. So, the discomfort zone is our topic. So now we're going to go to the other side of the coin. You can't know what comfort is unless you've been uncomfortable at some point in your life. Without one, the other has no value. The discomfort zone, though, has more purpose than to underscore when things are calm and serene. The discomfort zone is where all the magic happens. Of the two, the discomfort zone is where you'll find the potential for all your goals, dreams, and everything it takes to make them take flight. So, what is discomfort? Well, we got to look at that. Uneasiness, worry, pain. Discomfort is defined by a slew of negative emotions, right? Given the impression that this is something to avoid at all costs. If you doubt this, consider how many medications there are to take away pain or anxiety. How many systems are in place to erase worry from your life? Who in their right mind wants to be made uncomfortable? At the same time, we tend to forget some large truths about discomfort. Pain lets us know when something is wrong in our body so we can fix it. Worry shows us when we need to care and moving forward with a plan. Uneasiness is an instinct that alerts us when something is off about a situation. Instead of thinking of discomfort as the enemy, what if we consider it to be a signal, alerting, right, our radar, alerting us when there's something that needs to change? Think of discomfort as an indicator pointing at an opportunity to grow. It's an open invitation to change your life by forcing you out of your comfort zone and into something much bigger. Think of the discomfort zone as being ushered into life's classroom. There you go. Will the lessons be hard? Sometimes, yeah, but the outcome speaks for itself, right? Keep yeah, keep listening. You'll see where I'm going with this. How can discomfort propel us towards our goals? Right? People say that. Well, think for a moment about the greatest accomplishments in your life. Chances are it doesn't take much scrutiny to see where discomfort had some hand in the outcome of some sort. Even the birth of a baby requires a certain degree of pain, right? But ask the woman who struggled for years to have a child if the pain was worth it. What do you think she'd say? freaking hell yeah. Discomfort at its heart, a hard push away from where you are right the second. It, it's what drives you towards change. Think about this. Discomfort allows you to see new possibilities. When you've grown stagnant, right, stuck where you're at, discomfort gives you an itchy feeling to wanting something different in life. When you start looking around for what satisfies the itch, you discover new interest and ideas, things in which spark you back to life. Okay. Discomfort helps you discover connections to what you know. It urges you to find solutions when problems arise, tugging right at half formed ideas because this problem needs solving. This discomfort arises in the form of a whisper in your head. Ooh, I can do that. I know how to solve this problem. But it took the discomfort to trigger that. At some point, it's not enough to make goals or imagine petty dreams, right? Discomfort comes in the form of dissatisfaction and constant questioning of why aren't we doing this yet? It nudges like and pushes you and kicks you in the ass until you cannot be satisfied with anything less than trying out your ideas to see if you can make them happen. Discomfort underscores boredom also. A break, even a long vacation is a wonderful thing. At some point, though, discomfort makes even your favorite things kind of like no fun, uninteresting. Discomfort demands you to find something new to do, something which will engage your body and your mind and stimulate you. Discomfort will not be satisfied by anything less, right? It also demands that you be bold. There's no shrinking back into the shadows when discomfort crops up. It challenges you to prove you're up to the challenge. It pulls at you. It forces you to think creatively, be more flexible, throw yourself into the fight. Remember, you want to control and you want to have control of what discomfort brings you. You'll have to take it. Pushes you to your limits. When the comfort zone begins to shrink our world, discomfort demands we take back these things which are being threatened. Those borderline uncomfortable aspects of our lives become something to seize control of. There's some studies out there that have shown that one of the biggest factors in developing dementia is not challenging your mind enough as you grow older. This is why they recommend brain teasers and taking classes and otherwise stimulating your mind, especially as you reach middle age. So imagine what the comfort zone does to your intellect. When you're comfortable, you don't have to think much about things. Everything is very, very routine, and you're never challenged to think creatively for solutions. By this token, the discomfort activates your brain cells, stimulating cognitive thought processes, pushing creativity, and demanding you put your brain to work. All of this is added brain power as you grow older. Stimulation. The comfort zone is a very singular view to the world. Discomfort is where you find your thoughts and beliefs and how they're challenged. It pushes you to see the other side of the story and invites you to change your mind about things you always thought were true. Discomfort can be a powerful tool, man. If you have that courage to use it, the best part, once you've deliberately allowed yourself into the comfort zone, you'll find it's not so uncomfortable as you expected. In fact, once you get past the initial shock of leaving your comfort zone, you will settle into pretty quickly and take on the challenge. Humans are freaking incredible at how quickly they can adapt to any given situation. It's how generations of our ancestors got through every crisis from wars to famines to financial distress. Using discomfort to reach our goals and attain the next level of personal growth seems freaking simple by comparison, right? You didn't have to go through a famine. You didn't have to go through a depression. You have a choice, especially when you have a system to harness it. Is it possible to truly become comfortable with being uncomfortable? Hell yeah. That's what we're talking about. I want that guy in my circle or that woman in my circle. I want somebody being comfortable being uncomfortable. Why? Because they perform better under pressure. Consider this. You're given an assignment, right? You're supposed to walk up and introduce yourself to 100 strangers. Initially, it's like, no way, I can't do this. If you're any kind of introvert, especially, the task might even feel impossible. What you may not realize, though, is how long you can expect discomfort to last. The first person you introduce yourself to in this experiment will be the hardest. Absolutely. You might be unsure what to say or how to make eye contact. You have no idea what the other person will say or do in response. But as you keep going on this task, you will find out something interesting. After a handful of people, you'll start relaxing. If the responses you get are pleasant, you might even start enjoying it to where like it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. And you look forward to finishing. So what does that mean? Discomfort fades over time. The more we challenge ourselves, the easier it gets. This is especially true when you understand how discomfort works and know the steps to manage it. By following this process, you'll learn how to navigate the discomfort zone so easily that steps will become like you can close your eyes, they're habit until you soon manage the discomfort and it goes away. The trick is to choose your battles. You don't have time for all of it. You don't have time, have to make your whole life uncomfortable to create a positive change. In fact, if you ask me, you really shouldn't. So if you're deciding to take and shake up your life, being in the comfort zone for a bit at home or in a relationship will give you something to retreat to the rest and recharge before tackling discomfort again the next day. So here's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to examine your discomfort. Before you can leave your comfort zone, you need to know where you're going. Choosing the area to focus on isn't too hard. You start with paying attention to the things which make you uncomfortable. So look for the signs, right? You're reacting physically to the suggestions of a certain change. If you wince every time someone brings up a hot topic, like going back to school or stepping out of a relationship, you already know you need to change, whether or not you've acknowledged it or not. Also, look for other physical signs connected to this thought, such as an upset stomach, a sudden need for the restroom, or difficulty sleeping because you can't stop thinking about that topic. Some signs are more subtle, right? Such as having a itchy nose when you're talking about a certain subject. Believe it or not, this is an automatic response to stress where you have increased blood flow to your face. I learned that from an FBI negotiations class. When someone's stressed, their nose itches, which means they're most likely either not telling you the truth or they know something and they're not telling you. Your body language is already screaming, hell no. See, we hold ourselves differently when we feel threatened. We hunch in and sometimes cross our arms in front of us. We might even physically start moving away from the person who suggests this change, as if trying to gain distance from the idea, like you're going to outrun it. If you can't find the words to discuss this or get choked up in the conversation, this is a signal you're definitely uncomfortable with the topic. Or if someone asks you about a subject and your voice starts to go higher and higher and higher, or even talk more rapidly than usual, using lots of gestures, this is a sign something is getting you worked up about that topic. It's definitely time to back up and notice what's going on. Once you've identified some of these areas where the discomfort zone indicates some need to change, ask yourself these questions to narrow your focus down on the specific issue. Which ones need work? What is it that's making you so nervous about the idea of facing this challenge? What aspect of this makes you the most uncomfortable? Right? These questions will help you home in on the root cause of the discomfort. This is important because your approach from here on out will be shaped by what your problem you're trying to solve is. For example, you might think it's the prospect of a long and drawn out job hunt that is making you uncomfortable, when in truth, what you're really uncomfortable about is feeling you don't have the skills to get the job done or that you really want. Once you think you've nailed down your discomfort, it's time to move on to the next step. Right? I do a phone training class, and that's what I tell people when we have to start making phone calls. People say, "Oh, I don't like the phone." I don't like making calls. Well, they're not scared of making the calls. They're scared someone's going to pick up on the other end. That's what they're scared of because they're not prepared to handle that part of it. Okay. So I want you to reflect on discomfort. There's no quick and easy way to go through this step. Sorry. You'll have to take the time to do it. So give yourself an hour or two and sit back and enjoy what you're about to discover about yourself. I'm telling you, it's interesting. Reflection is such a positive exercise. You finally have the time to sit down and look at your emotions and examine not just what you're feeling, but why you're feeling that way. The biggest key to getting through this step is honesty. So be prepared to be truthful, brutally truthful, as you step into that journey. You start by creating the right space for understanding yourself. Choose a place conducive to calm, quiet, without interruptions, and free of distractions and noise. You might want to play soft music or something. I don't know. If it helps you keep calm and centered, do it. Or you can use noise canceling headphones. I do that sometimes to block out the world if needed. That's amazing. Next, you'll have to choose the best method for reflecting. For some, I don't know, this involves journaling, right? Writing your ideas down, write your thoughts down. For those, it's more of a matter of sitting with your thoughts and examining each critically, right, to see where it goes. Do whatever works best for you. Now, once you're ready, it's time to concentrate on the very important questions. Why are you ready to step out of this comfort zone? It's important to begin here, so don't skip it. Why are you ready to step out of your comfort zone? This will help you frame your goal and underscore your desire to change. This is all about affirming your decision to move into the discomfort zone. And we'll give you an answer you're going to come back to anytime you feel like discouraged or broken down about your journey. Next, you want to write, how has your comfort zone held you back? This really can be answered in two ways. By asking, in general, how your comfort zone has kept you from moving forward, you underscore the need for change. This is confirmation that you can't stay where you are anymore. It just wasn't good for you. But if you can also answer this regarding the challenges you're attempting, you'll discover the roadblocks that have held you back so far. Why have you been in this position of being held back? For how long? What made it easier to stay where you were than move forward? What emotion or pain is at the heart of holding you back? See, unfortunately, you won't change a thing unless you first dismantle it. You got to take it apart, examine it, look at it. You want to spend some time reflecting and writing about the topic so to free yourself of those feelings, right? And kind of cleanse yourself. If this doesn't work or you're truly having a trouble letting go of the things holding you back, try talking things over with a close friend or find somebody, a mentor or a family member who can help you guide, through some of the feelings. It's not always good to try to do it by yourself. If things seem really difficult, don't hesitate to seek help from someone who's trained in dealing with like the trauma or a counselor or a medical professional. It's that important. So, what's motivating you to move forward right now? This is really important. Here's where you seize the change and make it your own. I want you to say these words out loud. I am moving forward right now because, and fill in the blank. Make this your battle cry. I am moving forward right now because. What is your because? Right? A lot of people say they need their why. Here's my why. Well, great, you have a why, but you need a because to go along with that why. Right? Make this your battle cry. Make it an affirmation, but take action on it, or motto because this is your reason for making yourself uncomfortable in the first place. Where do you see yourself? When you reach this step, you're done looking at the past instead of focusing on your attention on the future, right? When you do this, you're done looking in the back and instead you're looking forward, right? They say the windshield's bigger than your rearview mirror for a reason. right? You just need a small glimpse back to see where you've been, but you need all of the windshield to see where all you can go. In order to succeed against a challenge such as facing the discomfort zone, you need more than a reason why you're doing this. You need to see yourself succeeding. There's a lot of power in this step, so it's absolutely crucial that you don't skip it. Visualization is one of those things that has gained much traction in the recent years. Numerous studies have shown it. It's incredibly effective as a tool for creating positive change. Right? We used to have vision boards. Why do what we call touch boards or touch experiences? See, if I want to own a fancy sports car, right? I want to own a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Well, I could cut a picture out of a magazine and put it on my wall. That's all right because then I see it every day. But what if I went to the dealership and sat in it and smelled it and drove it and started it and listened to it? Maybe took it around the block. Studies show that absolutely skyrockets the opportunity and the likelihood of that happening. So what does that mean for you? Quite simply, the more you can visualize and touch your future in detail, the more likely you'll attain it. So for this step, you start with imagining two different futures, okay? The first is the future you will have in 5 years if you do nothing. What would really happen to you if you stayed in your comfort zone, in your box right this second without a single change? What kind of life will you be leading? What type of job will you have? What friends will still be in your life and what role will they play? Okay? Chances are this doesn't quite look like the future you really want, does it? Well, if not, here's your chance to change your life. It's time to visualize the life you do want to have. Keep in mind now, this is the life you can only attain if you step out and take the magical first step, right? I'm going to put a program called The Power of the First Step. So for this future, you'll want to visualize your best shot. You're not just using this vision to prove a point, though you will prove a point if you accomplish it. This is about crafting a blueprint for the future. You'll want to visit this visualization repeatedly as a reminder of where you're going to go and what kind of person you'll be when you get there. This is literally the stuff dreams are made of. So you ready to get started? Begin with the area you're addressing right now. What discomfort are you facing? What change does this discomfort represent? Now, using the answers of the questions in this last step, answer this question. What is it that I no longer want to be doing in my life? And you can hold this by going through all the ways your comfort zone has been holding you back in this regard. These are the things that you will no longer allow to dictate your life. Now, take on the second question. What is it I want instead? Now, the answer here is found in the change you want to create. Ask yourself what you will look like in 5 years if you make this change right this second. Picture your life. Close your eyes. Imagine every detail you can, from the kinds of friends that you have. You'll have all the way down to the very last detail of how you'll spend your day, how you'll do your job, what relationships you'll have, and family will all be affected by your change. How will each of these things look? If you're having trouble visualizing 5 years, choose something simpler. How would you how would your life look next year or next month or next week? You're probably going to have to use your imagination now, okay? In some cases, you might even have to make some guesses about how things will turn out. But remember, visualization isn't exact. It's about what you want, not how things will actually be. So feel free to fill in the gaps with the best case scenario that you can create. Nothing wrong with that. Now spend some time with this vision. If you give yourself inspiration, you can see by creating a vision board and a touch board, or write about what your visualization, write it down, write it in a journal. After all, you will want to revisit the concept over and over and over, especially as you work through the next steps. You might even want to make this visualization part of your daily routine by adding, little things here and there, like when you meditate, just as a reminder about all the great changes you're about to experience. Okay. Then we got to prepare. Dreams are great. There comes a time when you will have to put everything into action. You know why you're embracing discomfort and even have a path that has clarified where you're going. The key here is movement. You're never going to get anywhere at all if you don't set your feet in motion and do the work. Don't worry just yet. You're not going to be thrown into the pool's deep end and be expected to swim, okay? In this step, you're going to create a game plan. You're going to spend some time preparing. You want to make intentional choices with every action. This kind of preparation will take you right where you need to go. Probably even know where to start. Your examination of your discomfort zone has already highlighted the areas where you don't feel confident. Use this as a guide to prepare your way. Start with a list. What are the logical steps as you move into the discomfort zone? You don't need to know all of them, but make a note of where you're going, not what you're lacking. Are you short on materials, knowledge, ideas? This is the time to gather your resources so you're ready to begin. What you don't know, find out. Sign up for a class or find a book or a tutorial online to guide you if you're shaky on the particular next steps. If you're lacking ideas, talk to people who have accomplished similar goals and see what advice they can give you. A mentor might even be a good idea at this point. They're going to steer toward what you want most. You can gather your materials, like I said. Here's where you take the list you just made and use it to guide you on your next steps. Take the classes, prepare your workspace, read books, watch videos, make a list. Once you feel confident, prepare to move out of your prepare to move out of your comfort zone and into a whole new world of possibilities. Biggest piece of advice for me is to start small. From the previous step, you know now what to do. If you're still feeling discomfort, the most likely cause here comes from not having put your skills to the test. If so, this is completely normal. Absolutely. It's not one thing to learn how to do something new, but sometimes it's just quite another to put this knowledge to the test. The good news, preparation has already assured you to an outcome that will be a positive experience. Now, not being prepared, game on, who knows? But preparation has already assured you that an outcome will be a positive experience. Doesn't mean you're going to be an automatic success. It does mean you have a solid chance to do well because you put the intentional thought into the process and you took the magical first step. The best part, even if you don't succeed in the first step, you'll learn something useful for trying. This is in my mind, there's nothing holding you back now, right? Failures are the scars on success. Before you jump in, though, you're going to want to think about the size of your first step. This initial attempt to move into the discomfort zone should be small. Should be small in nature and, so you can get used to the idea of doing things in a new way. This will also help you very quickly build up self-assurance. Small victories are still triumphs, and they're worth celebrating. Having a handful of success stories right at the start will do wonders for a positive mental attitude. Right? You don't go into the gym, try to bench press 400 pounds. You work your way into it. So what's the key? Keep trying. Small steps should happen, one right after another, practicing moving into the discomfort zone daily until it becomes a habit to challenge yourself. Why? Small victories coupled with frequent attempts will help the discomfort not be so uncomfortable. If you're consistent now, and in a very short amount of time, you'll discover that what used to be discomfort has turned into another comfort zone, just bigger and better. You're expanding your operations. And it all starts by starting small. Now I want you to commit. Finally, the last step is to commit to the process. You're going to have to revisit these steps repeatedly every time you push yourself in a new direction. Now, it might seem daunting until you realize you've already been doing these things automatically anyway. This is why it's so important to move through the process on a regular basis. By making challenges to the comfort zone, you really won't have to put a lot of thought into what you're doing unless you're particularly stuck in some way. Because you're going to keep going, right? To succeed in life, you can't just confront the discomfort zone once or even twice. Remember, a comfort zone is a great place to recharge, but sooner or later, you want to venture out again, stretching the boundaries as far as you can to make them go. How else will you ever reach your full potential? This is the key, though, isn't it? You want to reach your full potential in life. You want to succeed beyond your wildest imagination and live the life you deserve. This all starts here by stepping willingly into the discomfort zone and seeing where it takes you. So we're going to end this up here. Imagine what your life would look like if you could teach yourself to enjoy a little discomfort now and then. No, no one wants to live in the discomfort zone 24/7. It'd become too stressful and you'd freaking burn out in a second. We really do need downtime now and again. Making the comfort zone not just a good idea, but necessary for good mental health. It's like a pit stop. But consider looking at time spent in the discomfort zone as a challenge, something to conquer, a place where you'll become your best self. After all, it's all things and more. In this episode, you've learned about the comfort zone's role and what it means to step into the discomfort zone. You've seen how growth happens through times where we challenge ourselves the most. You've even learned a system to make discomfort work for you. Not that this isn't going to be hard work. If you want to use this system, you'll have to commit to following the steps and putting the effort in to move forward. You're going to get back what you put into it. Now, so you know your effort will pay off. You're going to grow. You're going to change, and you're going to be a better you. So here's the keys. Welcome to the discomfort zone. Hey, before we get the show started, I just want to say thanks to some of our sponsors. First of all, I'd like to thank Ohana Guitar Company. See, Ohana Guitar Company is a custom guitar shop with skillfully handcrafted guitars you've been looking for. Ohana features a full array of guitars, from customization set by your unique standards or traditional designs and features that you already know and love. Ohana Guitar Company uses classic tone woods for everything from the body throughout the neck and fretboard. Telecaster, Stratocaster styles are also available in addition to skillfully handmade small batch one-of-a-kind guitars. You can visit them at www.ohanaguitarcompany.com and connect with them on Twitter and Instagram at Ohana Guitar Co. We're looking forward to making Ohana a part of your guitar family and our podcast family for a long time.
You've been listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast with Coach Wayne. Join us next time for more money-making strategies to help you have less stress and more free time. Follow us on Facebook at Productive Not Busy, on Instagram at frontline.coach.wayne, and on Twitter at Wayne New Jr. And remember, be productive, not busy.